Welcome everyone to episode 114 of EDH Commander Challenge. I'm your host, BT. A couple things to mention real quick before we get started with today's episode. First, stay tuned to the end of the episode to find out the winner of our latest EDHCC giveaway and the prize they'll receive, which I'll be mailing out to the winner next week, Friday, November 1st. And secondly, I do have to apologize. Today was supposed to be a 4-player matchup, but unfortunately schedules are crazy right now. Just to give you a few examples, me going to the clinic frequently for this pain in my left foot, Jimmy transitioning between 2 jobs right now, Francis getting ready to go back to school, and Emma, who was supposed to be our 4th, being stuck working the night shift. And believe me, as someone who's done it myself before, when you do a night shift, as much as she really wanted to be here for this, the first thing you want to see when you finished is your bed. So today we decided to do a 3-person matchup, but don't be worried, in the next couple of weeks we should be back to normal, having the poll, which should be finished by the end of tonight. So by next week I'll be able to give you the results of said poll, and you'll let us know which 1v1 matches you want to see going forward, and we'll film a bunch of 4-player multi-matches as well. So I just want to say thank you to our family members, our subscribers, our viewers for being really patient with us at this point. You guys are amazing, and again, I hope everything should be back to normal, likely within about the next week or 2 maximum. Without any further ado, let's get to those opening hands. First, in this corner, with an opening hand of 3 forests, Parallel Lives, Natural End, Dark Thicket Wolf, Wailuli Wolf, and his Celestia General Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves, we have the mad scientist himself, Francis. Next, in this corner, with an opening hand of a mountain, Verdant Catacombs, Swiftfoot Boots, Sensei's Divining Top, Soul Ring, Terminate, Pure Steel Paladin, and his Mardu-style general, Syr Gywn, Hero of Ashvale, we have yours truly, the host, BT. And finally, in this corner, with an opening hand of 4 islands, Myriad Landscape, Bloodforged Battle Axe, Mirror Image, and his mono blue general, Tetsuko Umezawa Fugitive, we have the unpredictable Jimmy. Francis won the dice to start us off, so let's begin the card fight. For our first turns, Francis plays a forest, Jimmy plays an island, and casts Bloodforged Battle Axe. And I play Verdant Catacombs, sacking it and paying 1 life to grab a scrubland from my deck into play. I use the mana from it to cast Soul Ring, followed by Sensei's Divining Top, and finally use my remaining mana to check my top 3 cards. Francis plays a forest and casts Wailuli Wolf and passes. Jimmy plays a basic and casts his general, Tetsuko, and passes. I play an Etchy Plains and cast Pure Steel Paladin, followed by Swiftfoot Boots. This triggers my Paladin, letting me draw a card. And now, since I have Metalcraft, I equip my Swiftfoot Boots to my Paladin for free before passing. Francis plays a forest, and not liking my growing field, casts Natural End, blowing up my Soul Ring, and gains 3 life before passing. Jimmy plays a basic and equips Tetsuko with his axe, and moves into combat. He attacks Francis with her. Francis declares no blocks and takes the hit. This triggers the axe, allowing it to make a clone of itself before Jimmy passes. I play a mountain and pass. Francis plays Strip Mine and casts Journey of Discovery, adding 2 basics from his deck to his hand and shortcuts searching for them while passing to Jimmy. Jimmy plays a basic and casts Wharf Infiltrator. Then he equips his copied axe to it. Then he once again attacks Francis with Tetsuko. Again, Francis simply takes the hit, and Jimmy gets to make another copy of his axe before passing. During his end step, I check my top 3 cards with my sensei's top. I play Command Tower and tap my sensei's top to draw a card. Then I cast Sword of Body and Mind. This triggers my Paladin, letting me draw a card. Then I recast my sensei's top, and thus regain Metalcraft. This allows me to equip my sword for free. I then move into combat and attack Francis as payback for my soul ring from earlier. Francis can't block and takes 4 damage. With my sword's trigger, I get a 2/2 wolf token, and Francis mills the top 10 cards of his deck before I pass. Francis plays a Plains and casts Dark Thicket Wolf and passes. Jimmy plays a basic and equips all 3 copies of his axe in play to his Infiltrator, and thanks to Tetsuko, is now basically a 7/1 unblockable. Jimmy then moves into combat and smacks me with his powered up creature, dealing me 7 damage as I can't block it. He then gets to make 3 more copies of his axe. Jeez, and here I thought I was the one playing equips. Anyways, his creature's trigger also allows him to loot, letting him draw a card and discard a card before passing to me. For my turn, I cast Steel Shaper's Gift, allowing me to add an equipment from my deck to my hand. I choose Umezawa's Jite, which I then cast. This triggers my Paladin again, letting me draw a card. I equip the Jite to my Paladin. Then I move into combat and attack Jimmy for the 7 damage he just dealt me. As my creature has protection from blue, Jimmy can't block and takes 4 damage. With my sword's trigger, I get another 2/2 wolf token, and Jimmy mills 10 cards. I also gain 2 counters on my Jite before passing the turn. Francis plays a Plains and casts Parallel Lives and passes the turn. Jimmy casts Worn Power Stone, and knowing his Infiltrator will die to my Jite if he attacks me, he attacks Francis with it instead. Francis is ready for this, however, and casts Moment's Peace to prevent the damage. I take this time to check my top 3 cards with my sensei's top. In his second main phase, Jimmy equips Tetsuko one of his spare Battle Axe copies and passes to me. During the end step, I remove a counter from my Jite to kill the Wailuli Wolf. Francis chooses not to save it as I have another counter at ready. For my turn, I cast Sword of the Animus, drawing with my Paladin. I then equip the sword to my Paladin. I then move into combat and attack Francis with my Paladin, grabbing an Etchy Swamp with my Animus trigger into play tapped. Then, as Francis can't block, he takes 5 damage. I gain 2 more counters on the Jite, another 2/2 wolf, and Francis mills 10 more cards. Finally, I play Sacred Foundry into play tapped and pass. Francis casts Cage Sun, calling green, and passes. Jimmy plays a basic and casts Jessian Thief, followed by Mirror Image, making a copy of said thief. He then equips his Infiltrator with its 4th axe. Then he moves into combat and attacks Francis with it. Francis can't block and takes 9 damage. Jimmy gains 4 more axe copies in the process. Jimmy may have seriously broken the record for the most permanence of the same name on this channel, and it might forever be an unbroken record. Then Jimmy passes. During his end step, I check my top 3 cards with my sensei's top. I start my turn by casting one of my favorite new equipments, Colossus Hammer, drawing a card with my Paladin. I equip the giant weapon to my Paladin, who could pass for being Kratos right now. Then I move into combat and attack Jimmy with it. I skip my Animus trigger as I want to keep my top cards as they are. Jimmy takes a painful 15 damage. And with all my triggers, I get 2 more GT counters, another 2/2 Wolf token, and Jimmy mills his top 10 cards, and then I pass to Francis. Francis plays Rogue's Passage and casts his general, Tolsimir. This in turn creates a Voja Friend to Elves token. Then Francis gains 3 life and has his Voja fight Jimmy's Infiltrator. He forgets that he should have gained another 3 life and a second legendary Voja token at least hitting the field thanks to parallel lives, but I'll give him the extra 3 life anyways. Just give me the life and pass the Voja. But wow, I worked Sean Paul into an episode. Anyway, both creatures die, and then Francis casts Sundering Vitae, destroying my Sword of Body and Mind before passing. Jimmy plays Seat of the Synod and casts Vidalcan Shackles. Then he moves into combat and attacks me with his 2 thieves. I remove 3 counters from GT to deal -3/-3 to the original, and then cast Terminate, killing the copied one. Jimmy then passes, and during his end step, I check my top 3 cards again with my sensei's top. I play a Shadow Blood Ridge, and with the intent of attacking Francis, I cast my general, Syr Gywn. Jimmy, however, chooses to steal it with his shackles. I respond to the steal by casting Path to Exile on it, and grab a mountain from my deck into play tapped. Then I attack Jimmy with my Paladin, gain another basic thanks to my Animus trigger, and Jimmy blocks the hit with Tetsuko before I pass to Francis. Francis plays a Plains and casts Doubling Season and passes. For Jimmy's turn, he recasts his Tetsuko and tries to help Francis out by casting Curse of the Swine. This exiles both of Francis' creatures and replaces them with 2/2 boars. But thanks to the Doubling Season and parallel lives in play, he gains 8 tokens instead of 2. Then, Jimmy passes. For my turn, I check my top 3 cards again with Sensei's top. Then I tap it to draw a card. And I cast one of my favorite Planeswalkers, Nahiri the Lithomancer. I use her -2 ability to return my Sword of Body and Mind from my graveyard to play. This lets me draw again thanks to my Paladin's trigger. Then I re-equip the sword to my Paladin, basically making it unblockable again. And I attack Jimmy with said Paladin, getting a basic etchy land from my deck into play tap with the Animus trigger. I also remove 3 counters from my GT to give my Paladin an extra +6/+6 until end of turn. Then, unable to block, Jimmy takes lethal damage and is eliminated. With my triggers, I get another 2/2 Wolf token and 2 more counters on my GT. During my second main phase, I recast my top and pass. Francis plays a forest and recasts his general. Thanks to doubling season and parallel lives in play, he gets 4 Voja tokens, gaining 12 life, but as they're legendary, 3 leave play right away, but he still fights and kills one of my wolf tokens. Then he moves into combat and sends 3 of his board tokens at Nahiri and the rest at me. I use all my wolves to block 4 of his board tokens and take 3 damage, while unfortunately Nahiri dies. Then Francis passes, and during his end step, I check my top 3 once more with my sensei's top. For my turn, I jump right into combat and attack with my unblockable paladin. Francis stops it, however, by flashing back Moment's Peace from his graveyard, preventing the damage. During my second main phase, I cast Black Blade Reforged, drawing a card via my paladin's trigger. And then I cast a foil textless Damnation, board wiping all creatures. Then lastly, I cast Gwyn, Pride Ephemerith before passing. Francis casts Gilded Lotus, and then recasts Tolsimir once more. He gains 4 Vojas, gaining 12 life, before 3 leave play and the remaining one fights and kills Gwyn. Then he passes. I play a mountain and cast my general, Syr Gywn, once more. As all my equip costs once again are free, I equip her with everything I have, basically turning her into a 28/28 female god of war that can achieve even more power this turn. Then I attack Francis, who takes lethal commander damage, ending the game and giving me and my powerhouse Mardu Knight the win. Jimmy's Tetsuko deck was awesome and gives new meaning to the saying, small axes cut down big trees. And speaking of axes, Jimmy's Bloodforged Battle Axe jumped into my top 10 most amazing equipments in MTG. If I didn't have my GT in play, both Francis and I would have been at the mercy of Jimmy's army of unblockable axe wielders. Francis's wolf deck was interesting, and with cards like Doubling Season and Parallel Lives in play, he gained quite a few Tolsimir life gain triggers, to the point that I had wondered if we're going to see cards like Test of Endurance, Felidar Sovereign, or Approach of the Second Sun come out. Imagine how different the game would have been if he even played a card like Mirror Gallery. For myself, Pure Steel Paladin needs to be in every equipment deck that runs white. The draw power is great, and getting Metalcraft is super easy. And being able to equip something that's normally expensive like Colossus Hammer to a creature for free? Yes, please. If you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoy our content, consider becoming a patron. We'll give you access to some sweet bonuses while helping out the channel at the same time. But before we go today, it's time to hit the giveaway wheel and announce the winner of our latest giveaway. Alright, we got 5 prizes up here on the board. Let's see which one of these will be up for grabs. Okay, so the winner of our giveaway will be getting a playmat. So let's get those names up on the board. Alright, the playmat's been chosen. And now we get our family members up here on the board. So the winner of our latest EDHCC giveaway is... Hexproof Anarchist. Well, that bonus entry did you good this time, good sir. Alright, so please, I'll have my email in the description below, so just send me your address, and I'll send out your prize next week, Friday, November 1st. Congratulations, Hexproof Anarchist. Don't worry, guys, we'll be doing more giveaways in the near future, so stay tuned for that. that's it for this week. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're a fan of EDH gameplay and you like whether it be 1v1 or multiplayer and you want to be part of the ever-growing Commander Challenge family, just make sure you smash the subscribe button and notification bell down below. We do weekly videos. Don't forget as well to like, comment, share our videos, but most importantly, enjoy them. On behalf of all of our members here, I'm your host, BT. Feel free to check out all of the videos in the channel, join our game. It's now your turn. Cheers!